guinea pig!
Hi, I'm Alyne. Welcome to my kitchen. And today I am going back to the basics. And I'm going to title this Cooking Basics 101 Boiled Eggs, my way. Now, there are so many people out there that know how to cook. They know what you mean when you say you're doing, we're going to add this particular ingredient or that particular ingredient that you've already cooked. And then you have some people out there that don't have anybody to teach them how to cook. So they don't know how to boil an egg or how to make pasta or cook pasta. They don't know how to make homemade macaroni and cheese or how to fry chicken, you know. And this is getting back to the basics of cooking. And I've always wanted to do this for this channel. And so now, starting this month, I'm going to be doing at least one cooking basics video per month. And if anybody has something that they want to know how to cook that is basic cooking, or how to possibly chop vegetables or cut onions or whatever, if you want to know how to do this or how I do this, just let me know in comments and I will set about working on videos for that. But this is my Basics 101 for boiled eggs. Now, I start with a stir of cold water. And depending on how many eggs you cook, depends on the size of your saucepan or stir or whatever you cook it in. Now, I have quite a bit of cold water in here. I don't know if I'll have to add any more or not because I like to have my eggs completely covered. Now, I'm only doing 3 eggs. That's what I've got, so that's what I'm doing. And I can tell you, you can do store-bought eggs, you can do farm fresh eggs, you know, whatever. Piggy, will you get me some more water so I can pour it over that, please? Or just fill it up to where it's covered with cold water, if you don't care. I will tell you this, if you are using farm fresh eggs for boiled eggs, you want to make sure that your eggs are at least 7 days old, have been setting out for at least 7 days. Because, whoa, we're going to start flying. Kitty cat's knocking everything over.
A little bit. How that?
That works. Okay. Y'all, she's insistent for some reason.
Piggy's got him a bowl of cereal. She knows what that means.
Oh. Okay.
Milk.
But the reason you want to do farm fresh eggs after they're at least a week old is because the fresher the egg, when you start to peel it, they're going to tear up. It just will not release right. And anybody that raises chickens can tell you that. Now, for my eggs, I also have some baking soda. And once the eggs start boiling, I will add a tablespoon of baking soda to the boiling water. Now, that will help the eggs to be able to peel better. Okay, so now my eggs are in my saucepan. The water is covering them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn my eggs on. And I'll probably put mine on about medium heat. If I can get this to work up. So I have it set on about 250 temperature because boiling point is 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So I've got mine set at 250. I have my power set at 4, which is roughly not even quite half or medium. It's like a somewhere around a medium low. But this is what I'm going to set it on. And it may take a while for the water to come to a boil. When the water comes to a boil, I will come back and then we will add the baking soda. And then I will set my timer on how long I cook my eggs. Now, there are several ways that you can cook boiled eggs. You can coddle them, you can do soft boiled, you can do medium boiled, you can do hard boiled. I do hard boiled eggs. And if you want to know how to coddle eggs, if you want to know how to soft boil eggs, I suggest that you look up those terms and follow the directions of the person telling you how to do that. Because to do those, you have to bring the water to a boil and then add your eggs to the water. This, for me, this is how I cook my hard-boiled eggs. I do not do soft-boiled eggs. I do not coddle eggs. I do not do medium-boiled eggs. I do hard-boiled eggs. because hard boiled is what works best in deviled eggs. It's what works best in egg salad. It's what works best for eggs and potatoes that you add to potato salad, or if you just want to eat a hard boiled egg. Okay? So, again, we have our eggs in the water. I've got the cooktop on, and once they come to a boil, we will be back. Okay?
I was going to say, as I learned from Chum Gillen's live last night, all of them up there, they all of them start spouting off all sorts of different ways of boiling eggs. So there's lots of different ways out there to do it and make them come out right. And they did that mostly for Into the Mud with Maggie Moo, because she don't know how to boil eggs.
Well,
but she's got lots of folks around her. But the point was, for me, I learned there's a lot of different ways to do this. Right. This is Alyne's way.
This is my way. That's why I'm calling it Cooking Basics 101, Boiling Eggs My Way. Because, like I said, there are a lot of ways to boil eggs. And this is just this is a simple way. This is how I do it. This is how I've always done it. Except for the baking soda. That's a new trick that I've learned. I used to use salt. Now I use baking soda. But other than that, this is how I've always boiled my eggs. I start with cold water and the eggs in the water, bring them up to a boil, and then I go from there. So once the eggs come to a boil, we will be back. Alright, y'all, the water is boiling, and you want to make sure that you don't start your timer until the bubbles or the boiling is these big rolling boils. Okay, the big ones coming up from the bottom. That means that the water is hot enough, it is boiling, and the eggs are actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. Now, when you add your baking soda, add it slowly because the water can boil over. Because it will cause the water to boil. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. I usually cook them for 10 to 12 minutes. Roughly, I'm going to let them cook about 10 minutes since there's only 3. And when they get done, I will show you how I go through the process of peeling. What I do is, once the timer goes off for the 10 minutes, I will pour these into my strainer and then run cold water into my stirrer and put my eggs back in my cold water. A lot of people use ice water. You can use ice water if you want to. It's entirely up to you on that point. I found you doing this method, you don't have to use ice water. You can just use extremely cold water out of the tap and then peel them. Okay, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Alright, y'all, we got a little bit less than a minute to go on this. Go ahead and cut this off. And I'm going to have Piggy pour that into my strainer over there in the sink. And then fill that up with cold water. Well, just put cold water in there with the eggs back in it, I should say.
It'll pop back up with the eggs, ain't it?
Yeah, just cold water, yeah. You don't have to put it all the way full, just put them about halfway, like that. And then we will peel these eggs and see how they do, y'all. So if you wonder why I have the 2 bowls, one is for my eggs and one is for, oh yeah, that's good and cold water. Y'all, with it being wintertime, this is easy to do with cold
Good and cold.
Good and cold. Now, let's do this, y'all. This right here is what I do. I normally roll my eggs along the side of the sink, or I'll put them in a glass jar with the lid and a little bit of water and do a hurricane with them. I'm going to get these cracked and put them back in there before I peel them. That way they can. There we go. There we go. it's easier just to roll them along the edge, along the sink, or a big pan if that's what you're going to use. Okay. And I try to start with the large end, not the pointed end, because that tends to be where the little air bubble is in there. It makes it easier to peel. And there is a slight little membrane in there. And that is the membrane between the egg and the shell. And if you can grab a hold of that when you're peeling, it really makes peeling a whole lot easier. Okay. And you'll see it doesn't give you a perfect egg every time, but it's better than what I was getting before. Sometimes I get a really good peeled egg where there's no imperfections, but you know what? That's the whole part of cooking. Not everything's going to turn out perfect every time. But that is a peeled egg. If y'all hear that noise, I got something in the oven up there. And so that's the boiled egg. Let's see what we do here. Okay. Oh yeah, this one here is probably going to peel a little bit better because it's, you'll see how well that right there peels off. It just basically slides off. And a lot of times that's what will happen with these eggs when you use the baking soda, is that once you crack it and get it cracked up real good, the shell will just slide right off. Like I said, it's not every time, but the majority of the time it will. And I'm going to make some deviled eggs after a while out of these to go with our supper.
Oh boy.
And you see, I mean, it's just peeling right off. Now, I know some people will poke a small hole in one end of the egg. I don't do that. As I said, you saw what I've done. I just add my eggs to cold water, cook them on about medium heat. Yeah, one of what I'm doing there is, you'll see that little membrane right there I'm trying to get off. You'll be able to tell if it's still on there because it has like a dull feel to it, where the egg itself has a slick feel to it. So, yeah, there we go. There we go. Get that off of there. And that's, like I said, just the membrane between the shell and the egg. It doesn't hurt anything if you don't get it off. And if you eat it, there's not a problem with that. Y'all, that is my boiled eggs 101. And Pinky, go hand me a towel from over there. I don't have a towel over here, so I can get this water up. Thank you. And I'll let Piggy take, you can just take a regular picture, yeah, of my boiled eggs, y'all.
Boiled eggs.
I hope this helps someone. And I hope y'all like the new little series I'm going to be doing called Cooking Basics 101 My Way. And like I said, if you have a request for me to do something that maybe you don't know how to do, or you think somebody might like to learn how to do, I will be more than happy to work on it. So thank you for watching. If you're
someone you know might benefit from it, have at it.
Yeah. So I thank you very much for watching. I hope y'all have a great day. Bye, y'all. Bye, y'all.
Work, Marvel.